I'm Todd Dubber, and this is my wife, Kylie.
We have 3 children. Cassidy is 16, and Titus is turning 14 in less than a month, and Ella is turning 9 in less than a month.
Becoming a Christian for me was when I was really young, and 5 years old. I think that I accepted Christ as my personal Savior. I was baptized when I was 13. But I really didn't it wasn't a personal relationship until I was in my early 20s and experiencing Bible college and other people with vibrant faith.
My parents were relatively new believers when I was born, and it was exciting growing up in a home with parents who were really growing in their faith and learning about a lot about the Lord and really being involved in ministry. And so it was at a young age that I also accepted the Lord. Well, we met at Bible College, at Prairie Bible College, pretty much right away. My parents were very far away, so they were a little concerned, and we started dating almost immediately.
We've been married for close to 20 years in July, and it's been a wild ride this whole time, just understanding more about each other and our relationship with God, and having a family now in tow with what we are doing.
Todd and I were living here in Lethbridge, and Todd was attending the University of Lethbridge studying education, and I was a home care nurse here in the city. As Todd was looking at doing different practicums, we became very interested in working overseas and teaching overseas, and the doors just kept on opening for us to go to Kenya to work at Rift Valley Academy. Rift Valley Academy is there to educate the children of missionaries who are working all over the continent of Africa. It fit with so many things that we love doing, especially working with the youth here at eFree and teaching Sunday school and just being involved in the church here. It seemed like a perfect way to use the gifts that God had given us. Yeah, we love the opportunity to mentor the students, to really get to know them, to walk with them through the highs and the lows in their life, and to really encourage them in their walks with the Lord. They really become so very special to us.
Since Rift Valley Academy is a boarding school, we interact with these kids for 3 months at a time, and then they go back to their parents for a month in the school year. And we do that 3 times in a year. We get to mentor and disciple them in ways that are unique to what that school situation is like. I didn't know the whole picture until I really got into it. The biggest challenge for me is just, kind of the pride of letting go of the responsibility to provide for my family and relying on God to provide for our family, and just the idea of giving up control was a big factor in my perception of how I needed to provide for my family.
Well, we both love the verse in Jeremiah that talks about, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord." And it's been exciting to see the outworking of the plans that God has had for our lives, and just the ways that He has used every part of us in this ministry, and just the exciting blessings that come from a life that is submitted to the Lord. It was hard to leave here, to take this big step of faith, yet the rewards have been abundant, and our lives have been so rich and full for choosing to walk in the will of God. If someone is thinking about, taking a big, giant leap of faith and following what the Lord is leading you to do, even though it seems scary and maybe a bit crazy, I would say to go for it. The Lord is faithful, and He never leaves you. He never forsakes you. He walks every step of the way with you, and just seeing the hand of God and His provision all the time, we know without a doubt that He is real, because we have seen Him provide time and time again. We have seen Him bless. We have seen His work in Africa through all of these families that we get to interact with. It's exciting to be a part of what's going on in Africa.
It's important to recognize that God's calling is not anything more than what we can handle and what we can do. And I think that for me in particular, growing up in the same house for many years and not really having much of a bigger world view, I was challenged at first, like culturally, I was challenged, and the whole missionary aspect of raising support, I was challenged, and I was, challenged not being able to see family, and family was challenged that they weren't going to be seeing us as often as they'd like. But a life lived for God has just fulfilled so much for us, and recognizing that we're richer for obeying and wholeheartedly going for it.